Day 370 of doing a LeetCode problem every day until I get a job. All right, y'all, we're back again. Another day, another LeetCode problem where we're doing daily LeetCode problems. And today we have question number 451, sort characters by frequency. The difficulty level is medium, but don't worry because you already know we're going to keep the solution as simple and easy to understand as possible. But before we get started, y'all, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you need any new Apple AirPods, go ahead and check out that link in the description so you can get you some. Now let's see what the question says. Given the string as sorted in decreasing order based on the frequency of characters. The frequency of a character is the number of times it appears in the string. Return the sorted string. If there are multiple answers, return any of them. All right, y'all, so that sounds simple enough, but let's go ahead and take a look at these examples just to make sure that we are doing this problem correctly. So in the input, in example 1, we have the input s equals a string tree. The output is EERT. Explanation says E appears twice while R and T both appear once. So E must appear before both R and T. Therefore, EETR is also a valid answer. All right, y'all. So let's break this down one step further, right? So we have the input string, which is tree. In tree, there are two E's, right? So we are sorting these characters by frequency and decreasing order, right? It says right here. So that means we're doing the characters with the most occurrences. We're going to put those first. And since E occurs twice, it has the most occurrences because T only occurs once and R only occurs once. So we know that the two E's are going to come first. So we put the two E's right here first. Then we have a T and R. They both occur one time. So we could put the R and the T, or it says we could put the T or the R. It doesn't matter. It says if there are multiple answers, return any of them. So these are just the multiple answers. We could do EETR or we could do EERT as long as we sort the characters by frequency in decreasing order, which in this case we have two E's, so they come first. Then we have one R and one T, so we put them second. So let's go ahead and take a look at example 2 where they might try to throw a trick question our way, where in example 2 we have the input s equals a string CCC AAA. The output is AAA CCC. Both C and A appear 3 times, so both CCC AAA and AAA CCC are valid answers. Note that CACACA is incorrect as the same characters must be together. So in this case, we have 3 C's and we have 3 A's, which means they have an equal amount of occurrences, right? They both occur 3 times, which means we could return this answer in any order. We could put the C's first or we could put the A's first. It doesn't really matter because they have the same amount of occurrences, similar to how we put it didn't matter if we put the TR here or we put the RT here because they have the same amount of occurrences. But it says we can't do CACACA because the same characters must be together. So that's the only thing we can't do. But as long as all of the C's are together and all of the A's are together, we can return the string in any order we like. So let's go ahead and take a look at example 3 where it gets tricky again, right? Because now we're dealing with uppercase and lowercase letters. So in example 3, we have the S equals a string uppercase A, lowercase a, BB. The output is BB uppercase A, lowercase a. Explanation says BB lowercase a, uppercase a is also a valid answer, but A uppercase A, lowercase a, BB is incorrect. Note that uppercase A and lowercase a are treated as 2 different characters. So in this case, since uppercase A and lowercase a are 2 different characters, that means uppercase A occurs once and lowercase a occurs once, and BB occurs twice. So since BB occurs twice, we know we have to put BB first. After we put BB first, we could return the answer. We could do the lowercase a or uppercase a in any order. We could do it, the uppercase A could come first or the lowercase a could come first because they both have one occurrence, right? Because they are treated as two different characters. So as long as we can't put the uppercase A and the lowercase a first, because they're two different characters and they only appear one time, they have to come at the end. But after we put the BB first, then we could return the uppercase A and the lowercase a. So I hope that made sense to y'all. Now that we understand the question, let's get into the fun part, the actual solution. If you've been following along with this channel, as you know, we've been doing a few days of hash map dictionary problems, and now so this is the first medium one we're doing, because we're trying to make sure we understand the fundamentals and the basics of the hash maps before we move into harder problems. But before today, we were doing some easy hash map problems. So if you want to check those out, go ahead and check out the days of before this, 369, 368, and I believe 367. I'm not sure about 367, but I'm pretty sure 367 was an easy hash map problem as well. Now, the first thing we're going to do for this is we have to create our hash map or our dictionary so that we can keep track of every character that appears in the input string S. So for that, we could just declare a variable. We could call it freq, which is short for frequency, and we could set that to a dictionary by opening up the square brackets, and it's going to be a character, colon, int. Boom. Then the character is going to represent each letter in the string, and the int is going to represent how many times that letter appears. Then we need to initialize it with some parentheses like this. Now we need to count the frequency of each character. So for that, we could say for char ns, open up the brackets, and we could say freq, square bracket char, comma, default, colon 0, plus equals 1. So what this is going to do, every time we see a character in S, right, this is going to be represented right here, and we're going to keep counting that character over here. We're going to start the count at 0, but each time we see that character, we're going to add 1 to this default value so that it will keep count of how many times that character appears. Boom. Then after we have the count of each character, now we need to sort the characters. So we're going to sort the characters based on its frequency in descending order. So for that, we are going to say let sorted chars equal s dot sorted. Boom. So then we just need to say return freq, square bracket, $0, and put an exclamation point. Then we're going to say put the greater than sign, freq, square bracket, $1. Excuse me, that should be a 1, and excuse me, that should be a $1. So $1. Then that's optional as well. So we're gonna unwrap it with the exclamation point. Now what this is going to do is it's going to sort each character by frequency, right, in descending order. That's what this right here is going to do. It's going to make sure it's in descending order, and this $0 is going to represent each of one character, and this $1 is going to represent each of another character, the next character, similar to like if this was for I and S and this was for J and S. It's similar to that. Then we still need to turn it back into a string, because right now we're dealing with we're returning dictionary, so we need to turn it back into a string. So for that, we are going to say return. So we're going to come right here and we're going to say return string, open up the parentheses, sorted chars, just like that. Now see, it's not that difficult to understand at all, not that much code. Let's go ahead and run it. Make sure it runs first before we submit it. Let's see, and it's accepted, y'all. So let's go ahead and submit it. See what that time is looking like. Oh, we got the wrong answer. So, because as you can see right here, it says this is not, we can't return it like this. All of the characters have to be lumped together. So let's see if we can do it like this. Let's see if this works, y'all. Let's see if freak square bracket $0 is equal to freak square bracket $1. Then we could open up the brackets and we could return $0 less than $1. Let's see if that changes anything. That's accepted, but let's go ahead and run it. See if it passes all of these. There it is, y'all, and it's accepted, y'all. 271 milliseconds beats 5.26% of users with Swift. We definitely could get those numbers up, y'all, and make it better, but hey, that's where we're at. That's what we're dealing with, y'all. And we'll get those numbers up as we continue down our LeetCode journey. But right now, we just want solutions that we can understand and learn from. And I feel like this is a pretty easy and simple solution that we could understand and learn from. So with that being said, y'all, I hope y'all learned something today. And I hope to see y'all here tomorrow for another day, another LeetCode problem. See y'all then.